Hey tubers, Bart coming at you. Happy Sunday, finishing the weekend strong. Hard Mountain Dew. If you guys haven't had this, it's actually pretty good. And I replace it with beer a lot. No sugar, no caffeine, but pretty cool. And they got like 4 flavors in that. So, got a mail day. Some nice stuff. As I was going through it right before this, I realized I may disappoint a couple of you because there's no baseball in this one. Been doing a good bit of vintage baseball lately. And as I figure myself out and, what pieces to pick up, how many 33s versus how many 206s, when do I not get those and go get a key Hall of Fame rookie that I still need or something like that. When I'm deliberating and I'm not sure what to get, the fiend in me still wants to pick something up. And therefore, I always default back to the safe space of some football and some Hall of Fame rookies on the football side. But we'll start with the raw ones. This is I think 22 Panini. It's a relook of 2002 Donruss, but slightly acetate-ish out of 25. I just thought it was a cool card. Don't pick up many Goat Raws, especially post-playing days these days, but I like that one. And then I'm always a glutton for these if they're numbered. So there is the Donruss Gold Press Proof from 22. George Kittle, that's out of 50. I more so hunt the die cuts because they're a little lower numbered, out of 25. And it doesn't seem like too many people collect the die cuts as much. And so I'm happy to find a little niche in that, as I like to pick them up consistently over there. So there's the Eli Mitchell. There is the Kittle version of the regular that you just saw. So again, out of 25. And then from last year's Donruss, there's the Kittle out of 50. And then I'm a sucker for Obsidian, but just the normal looking ones. And I thought this was more silvery when I picked it up. It's out of 75. That was in the listing. The part that was not in the listing was that it was the orange version. And I could have looked it up, but the picture was doing good. And it looked well centered all around. So price was right for Nick Bosa out of 75. But it's the orange one. Not necessarily one I go after. Sometimes these variations and stuff, I still stick to the classic look for the most part. I am nowadays, with the volatility and stuff, do go after the numbered things a little bit more than I used to. Used to just be straight up about that base, but I go after the numbered, but some of the colors just don't make sense. There's no reason to have an orange parallel of anything in football. It's right up there with like National Treasures and flawless things where you got blues and greens and just crazy stuff, and it's just the lines that go around and the card looks the same. Some of those things just don't make any sense to me, whatever, but I digress. The Obsidian base Kittle. I've been doing a rookie run of the base cards for the Niners over the years, but a couple of the vets that do not have an Obsidian rookie, I'm kind of trying to find a gradable version of them. Doesn't fit well overall in my displays because that black and shine is very different, but they do, when you put them all together, they look really cool because the pictures just stands out so well of who the player is and everything like that. Let's get into some slabs. Hall of Famers. This is round 2 for me trying to chip away at the Hall of Fame set registry for the football. Mentioned it in previous videos, but it's been a while since I said it, but I was up above 90%. They've added a few more Hall of Famers since then, and right at around 50% right now, so chipping back away after a big sell-off there. But this is Jim Taylor. A lot of the grades are a little lower than last time, but you can still get some really good cards in 7s versus 8s, etc. So there's the Jim Taylor. It's not a Jim Taylor picture though. 59 Jim Parker. That's a first ballot Hall of Famer right there. Fats Henry, PSA 6 from 55 Topps All-American. Big fan of Topps All-American set. This is the lowest listed one I had seen for a long time. I had just been watching it forever. They never sent me a deal, but also never saw one come up for a better deal. So pulled the trigger on it finally. Got a good auction win on a 6.5. Love me those 0.5s. The Mel Hein there. Another 55. I was really focusing on some 50s there. The Bill George. And a 56. PSA 7. And then first tall boy back in the PC, and I guess this month's lone basketball pickup, which is usually the norm, got one a month. Got the Wes Unseld from 69, and a 6.5, and I'm a pretty big fan of this one. This is the Baltimore Bullets back in the day. I grew up watching the Washington Bullets, and this was the coach. So I have fond memories of just watching him and then just reading about him in the sports page back when we used to read newspapers and things like that. And man, I got that 6.5 for a steal, and it is a beautiful card. So pretty happy with that. Those are the pickups for today. Got about 90 cards, a little less than that, I think. Ending a consignment tonight. Probably just ended a minute ago. Some of those pickups were because I could never wait for that check, and I just get excited and start spending it before I get it. But it's to rebuild even more PC and curate it into a finer PC, as we like to do, right? So that's what I got for you. At least one nice Hall of Famer still coming in this week. It's tough though. You make those purchases, and I like the instant gratification, right? So I first get the instant gratification by entering it in my registry. It adds to my sets, get little points here, blah, 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 upload a picture. I like that excitement. But then, you know, for a while it seemed eBay, you would get this stuff pretty fast. I could get, you know, pieces, you know, in my mailbox, and shout out to those sellers, but I'd get them in within like 3 or so days. And so you had really quick gratification. With this eBay authentication thing, that just puts a dead stop to that, it seems like. And you know, you pull the trigger on something and you don't see it for like 10 days. Just takes some of the luster out of those purchases sometimes, but it is what it is. That is a first world problem of the day. But that's what I got for you. It is Sunday night. Yeah, I watched some basketball today. Shout out to the Celtics. I was rooting for them in that one. I can't say I'm going to root for them going forward too much, but Jason Tatum went bananas, and it's just funny. I root for LeBron James nowadays, and the reason being, probably the biggest reason being, is because when I was a kid watching basketball, this is a random tangent of the day. When I was a kid watching basketball, I was not a Jordan fan. I watched him, and he was phenomenal. He's still my GOAT, as it were, but I was, you know, I watched whatever, but I just wasn't rooting for the Bulls because they were just winning everything. I kind of like underdogs a little bit more than that. I was a Barkley fan when he was on the Suns big time. And so, wasn't a Jordan fan, but after the fact, I kind of told myself, like, man, I kind of really probably gypped myself from really appreciating the experience and the opportunity I had there by rooting for him or not rooting for him. And so when James came along, I didn't want to do that to myself, so I root for him. But I tell you what, you know, we had this, you know, Embiid won the MVP, and everybody hypes him up. I wish he played so much more angry than he did, but imagine if LeBron got blew out by 30 in a Game 7, how much they would light him up. I'm just saying, Embiid should get some of that love come this week, because the Sixers did not show up today. It was ugly, and the Celtics showed out. It was a tremendous win. They were shooting threes from everywhere, and they were pretty swishing in. And the Sixers with a 7-foot MVP weren't even really trying to score from inside, it seemed like. But that's my ramble for the day. Thanks for watching. Until next time, enjoy your week. Later.